Welcome to Straight Line MTB, and you can go ahead and click your heels together because we're going to talk about the Transition Spur. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Straight Line MTB, where we are talking about another amazing bike that is really hard to find right now due to all the COVID stuff. We have been super lucky finding these bikes. Stumbled across this Transition Spur. It is a size large and it is the GX build. It's the black powder color. Looking at it in the sun and some of the overcast, you'd kind of mistake it a little bit for like a green. It looks like there's a little bit of green tint to it, but it looks really nice. It's a little bit different than the Transition Sentinel Gray that we have. So something to just know that they don't look exactly the same. So out of the box, our GX build, no pedals, tubeless setup, was 27.5 pounds. I added pedals. I put our Tannis tubeless armor in the rear, add a little bit more sealant, and ready to ride. This bike was 28.3 pounds. That is really, really light considering the build. This isn't the top end build with the XO or the XX1. This is a GX with some, on the heavier side of wheels. So looking at that, thinking, throw some carbon rims on this and a couple other things, and you could probably get this thing around 27, maybe 26 pounds. So very, very awesome for an XC/trail bike. Reading Transition's description of the Spur, it tells you that this bike can climb with lightning speed, and then you don't have to worry about what you're going to encounter on the downhill. So we're excited to ride this bike and share our experience with you and see what that means if we feel the same as the description for this bike. Looking at the build spec for this bike, it's really a bike how I would build it. It comes with the GX cassette, so it's the 10 to 52 tooth, so it's that new 2021 SRAM. Also the new GX rear derailleur. It comes with the stylo crank, so that's where they're saving a little bit of money. I don't really have an issue with that. We have those on our Sentinel. They get the job done, just a workhorse crank set if you want to lighten it up and get something a little bit more, but I don't really see a need for that. Just something that's on there, get it done. It does have the aluminum chainring, so unlike our Sentinel that had the steel one, saves a few grams there with that 32 tooth front chainring. So this is RockShox XC level suspension package. So it comes with the RockShox SID Select Plus fork. So it just has a lockout and an open mode on the charger damper, and you also can adjust the rebound. The rear shock is the SID Lux Select Plus as well. So it just has a lockout and an open position. It does have rebound adjust, but I did find it a little bit odd that you do need an Allen wrench to adjust that rebound, so it's not on the fly adjustment. Probably to save some grams, because I know this is XC level suspension package, so I know they're trying to save weight wherever they can. But interesting to me, I would probably take the extra 5 grams to be able to have a knob on it. So the wheels on this are the Stans Arch S1. So it's not the top of the line MK3s. They do use a different aluminum for the S1. It is the 6061 aluminum as opposed to the 6069 on the MK3. The MK3s come in a little bit lighter. Across the line, they are speccing the same tires. They're 3C tires. So the front on the Spur is a Maxxis Dissector 3C. I really appreciate not having to go out and buy a new front tire. So it has that nice tacky front tire. On the rear, it does have the Maxxis Recon 3C. They're both EXO casing, so they're the lighter casing. I'm interested to see how that Recon does. I know it's a really fast rolling and good for dry weather, but now it's winter right now, so I'm interested, a little nervous, interested to see how it's gonna do when things get a little bit of slick and loose. So for the dropper post, it comes with a 180 millimeter 1-up dropper post, which, hey, high five, because that is awesome that you're getting another component that you don't have to worry about changing. The 1-up dropper is proven, and high five to Transition for making their seat tubes really low, so you're able to run a 180 millimeter dropper on an XC/trail bike is crazy, and crazy awesome. The stem is a Race Face Effect 35, maybe a little bit on the heavy side, but I don't really see an issue or a need to change unless you want to get a little bling or you have your favorite stem you can throw on there. The bars are an Anvil Mandrel 780 millimeter wide. And looking at those, again, that's another component. I think can stay on this bike. They're really nice. They look high quality. The grips are one thing that I think maybe it's something that I would change. They're the Sensus. They're really thin, really light. I do appreciate a little bit fatter grip with a little bit cushion. So something, I'm gonna try it out and see what I think. I know we had them on our Sentinel and they weren't my favorite, just because my preference is something a little bit fatter. And then the one-up dropper lever, really smooth on our same thing that we had on our Sentinel. Smooth, nothing to worry about, has that nice bearing. So looking at some of the frame details, this bike comes with something that I love and is expected on a trail slash XC bike, is a water bottle that is inside the frame. So this looks like it can carry maybe a 40 ounce, or you want to go pick up a 40, you could fit that in there. It also has bosses on the down tube, so if you wanted to carry 2 water bottles, you're doing a long XC race or just a longer ride, you can go ahead and do that. Under the top tube, it has bosses there where you can strap a tube, some tools, a pump, any of that. I know that's kind of the new thing for some of these frames, so I appreciate that they have added that to this. And then just looking at the frame, it's just like our Sentinel, high quality. I mean, Transition is like a boutique bike brand, and I've always wanted them, and now I have 2, super excited. The internal cable routing for the shifter, again, just like the Sentinel, the rear brake is external in case you need to, you know, swap it on the fly, or you're gonna swap it for your favorite brakes. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it takes away from the look. I know some people might think it's kind of strange. I do appreciate it. We will not be swapping out the brakes as we normally do because we're going to ride this bike as is. Another unique feature to this bike is that it doesn't have a rear pivot. It has flex stays. So instead of having the pivot, those stays flex a little bit on the compression hits. So I've never, ever ridden a bike with flex stays. So I'm really interested to see how that performs and how it holds up. I am not really easy on bikes, so hopefully we can keep her together and get her down the hill in one piece. All right, so I am super excited to try this bike out. We've been riding the YT Izzo and I absolutely love that bike. It was the first really short travel bike that I have ridden in a super long time. And then this bike coming in with a little bit less travel. So I'm interested to take it and excited to take it on some of our local trails. We have the XC trails as well as some of our more gnarly trails in the area, some Black Diamond, and see how the Transition Spur holds up. So again, thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel, help support us grow, and give us a like. And also straightlinemtb.com as well. Follow us on Instagram at straightline_mtb, and of course on TikTok. You can check us out on TikTok and let us know if you have any questions about this bike or anything you'd like us to look out for, and we will do our best to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you for joining us. Bosses that where you can strap a frame, we have so many bloopers for this. All right, stop. All right. Strap a frame, strap a frame? Who's strapping a frame to a frame?
When your frame breaks, you need another one.
Yeah, so.
Strap that frame.